Saying Jay knew around the house. I know it. Good evening, everybody. This is, or I should say, good afternoon, everybody. But to me, it's always evening. This is show number 259 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. Really, it should be called the Tysons and the Hogan Show, but 259 means 59, and 59 might be the worst number I think you can get. But I think of Ed.
Better watch your mouth. I got one.
This is easy here for Venditti to drive off the road. I actually had to text him because we were laughing. That means Ed McGlasson, a bad giant from years ago. Rich Humphrey, my brother, and Venditti are both driving off the road now. Then you got London Fletcher. And, of course, really the only number 59, really, and the best one by far. From the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Jack Ham. That's probably the best one. And when you go to AI agrees. Then you got the Yankees, Damaso Garcia, back in 79. And you got Yankee coach Rob Thompson. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, he's one of those guys you think, he was like a coach for 2 years. It was like 13 years he coached. Then you got Bam Bam Mullins for 1 year anyway. Seth Joyner and London Fletcher. But that's it's like a bad number. Again, kids scoring at home.
You left out that win of the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what? I saw his name, but I didn't know how to pronounce it because it's like Dat Nagayan. And I was like, you know what?
That culture, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. And plus, it's a Cowboy.
I knew right away.
but he stunk anyway. Come on.
No, are you out of your mind? Don't you dare. You put respect on Dat Wynn's name. That dude was ferocious.
Oh, my God. Ferocious.
He was.
Junior Seau at USC.
Ooh, that's a deep take.
Yeah, so we don't really do, you know what? They don't have a website for college numbers. Therefore, we don't get it's probably a great 59 from
Fox says I quit. Yes, exactly, bro. Yeah. He's pissed at that. He stinks coming, I guarantee it.
59, 59 is a bad number, but that's it. But it's show number 259. And of course, that means it's baseball card time. Now, I think you're going to remember this guy, and you should. But you won't because you're just watching Cowboy games with your family. Mr. Scott Hatteberg.
I know Scott Hatteberg. Yeah. Scott Hatteberg, if I'm not mistaken, was he a Oakland A at any point?
Yes, he was.
So was he in Moneyball?
Dave Sturgill, what a backdoor three.
I mean, come on.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead.
Give me a break, dude. Come on. You got to give me some credit.
I got to give you credit for that one because, I always laugh about Moneyball. They're like, everyone's like, Moneyball, the way to go. And the teams that win it never seem to be Moneyball. It's like, no, it's called Moneyball. It means you spend all the money and then you bring players in.
Was he the one played by the guy that was in the new Jurassic Park movies?
Pratt.
Pratt, yeah.
So we'll get to all that in a split second. But let's see, Scott Hatteberg, 14 years, 270, played from 95 to 2008. Batted 273, 1,100 hits, 106 ding-dongs. First base and a catcher blew out his elbows and he couldn't catch anymore. He played with Boston, Oakland, Cincinnati. 2004, he had a good year with Oakland, batted 284, 15 home runs. 2007, he batted 310, 10 home runs. That's why they that Moneyball thing, he was always on base. Postseason, he batted 286 with Boston in 98, 99. And Oakland, 2002, 2003. Did not win a World Series. Traded by Boston for Pokey Reese. That was always a great name. He was like a $1 to $2 million a year player back then. He batted 570 in high school. I love high school stats. I should bat 570 in high school.
Can't get him out.
And it's so funny. And everybody, most people know I feel this way. Whenever you research like a decent player, any sport, they always like, hey, he averaged 35 points in basketball, and he played this, and it's like very rarely. Although now, all the money gets for. Back in the 80s and 90s, when kids were allowed to be kids, they were allowed to play 3 sports. Now it's like, oh, you're a quarterback. No, that's it. Drop everything. You do nothing but play quarterback. And they say that actually throws off. There's actually coaches who believe that the other sports, you move other body parts and you don't get injured that way. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, back in the day, kids were 3 sports star. I think Winfield was good like chess team as well.
Nice.
But yes, he was featured in Billy Beans, The Moneyball.
That's a movie. That's a movie that no matter what scene it's on, I leave it on all the time. Like if I just,
I wasn't as big a fan of that movie. I don't know.
You know what it is? I'm not so bothered by like when they made the movie Summer Catch. Summer Catch was amazing. That was Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jessica Biel. Hello. No, it was
So you watched it not for Jessica Biel?
I mean, it was a great movie. It was a great movie. It's about summer. It's about like the fucking whatever they call it, the league up top in New England. But no, I was talking about Fever Pitch. Fever Pitch is the story about the Red Sox. So I'm just like, I don't want to watch this shit, right? But like, it's the A's. They stunk. They've never done anything in my time. So I'm just like, that's a feel good movie. Like, what the hell, you know? And I get into that analytical shit.
I get it.
Thank you, Tyson.
But one other thing he's known for, Dave. I don't know if you know this. You know the Oakland A's once won 20 games in a row, which is the American League record.
Yeah, we watched it. That's in Moneyball.
Yeah, but that was the night they have it. But he had 19, and here comes Scott Hatterberg in the 9th inning, deep to right. He had a bomb.
You got to pay attention to the comments, man. It's like Josh Diaz said, yeah, he hit the homer.
And I think that of course, because I'm a Rutgers fan, you know what I immediately wanted to do? I wanted to know about the game they lost the next week.
How'd they rebound after that? What was the follow-up?
but now, see, just you little Moneyball people there. He was also famous for something else, Mr. Sergio.
Did he lead the team in strikeouts?
No. And you know what? This is very hard to do. You ready? He lined into a triple play. A-Rod to Velarde, and Velarde made 2 plays, triple play. His next at bat, he hit a grand slam. Never been done before. So triple play
to Velarde.
Yes.
Where the hell was Velarde playing?
I guess he was on the Rangers.
Like Randy Velarde? Like Velarde?
R. Velarde. Remember
crazy.
John Sterling? Velarde.
Yeah. There's a lot of players that like.
But you know what? Think about that, though. Triple play is hard enough. First of all, I don't know how many triple plays there have been, but it's not that many. And then your next at bat, you hit a grand slam. Talk about being the GOAT to from the skunk to the GOAT in one. And it was like an inning later too, which is odd. So I've
hit into my fair share of double plays.
Listen, you're not Chris Gucci anymore. You don't have that speed. Fastest player in the world.
Best player.
Matter of fact, the Ravens just signed Chris Gucci for the secondary.
Right after they traded for Max. Yep.
Yeah. And he still works for the A's. He's got a wonderful family. He's an announcer. But my favorite thing of all time is he's an avid fisherman.
Perfect.
Anything, when you're on the back of your baseball card, it says anything avid is great. That's it. Scott Hatterberg. Which brings us to late breaking news here at Shea. Now, we were at 57 on the Patreon. But of course, we now have a record-breaking number 58 and our youngest Patreon member
who had a baby
at 4 years old. Grandson of Daryl Clark.
You guys are sick. All of you guys are sick.
Tanner Bourgeois. I don't know how I'm blowing the name. Bourgeois. I don't know how to. We'll just call him Tanner.
There you go.
So I would like to give a shout out to the entire Clark family.
I don't think Daryl's in today. I haven't seen him yet. So he usually pops up later.
Listen, at this point, the Hogans need to talk it over. I mean,
the Hogan. You have a whole infield. You have a whole infield with the Tysons and the Hogans and the Clarks and the Jesus Christ.
But I got to give a shout out to my friend Robin Achani, who I was texting with earlier in the day, and of course Ramsey's Joe Cinecor is part of my wonderful Patreon family that helps pay for somewhat of Dave Sturshow's wonderful work with graphics and social media. And
speaking of social media, I don't know if anybody knows this, and I've mentioned it a few times, but we are coming off the heels of our biggest viewed show of all time.
Because of the Howard Stern crowd.
So we appreciate all you Neanderthals who came and left, and then we appreciate the guys that came in and stuck around and hanging out today, and
Yeah, maybe
those
they're
new
listening.
subscribers, because your subscriber count went up dramatically.
Yes.
So
I
it's
did.
nice.
I did say yes to some Facebook people who I didn't know, but you know, it's going to say they had a good week last week, but since then it has been all.
There's a
We
decent
never
amount of people
know.
watching
You
right
never
now
know.
live. This is, I
Well,
think we're
listen,
heading in a new
the
direction.
bottom line is, as we build our show, we're always chasing miracles. That's right.
What do you what?
Using lean forward. I thought you were going to do something.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm working out, but sometimes your segues are so damn hard. I just don't know when they're coming. Sometimes.
Segue, chasingmiracles.com. Chasing miracles, shit your body needs. Go check out these miracle stem cell patches. They're not miracle stem. I wouldn't use the word miracle on, even though they're chasing miracles. They work. They do really well. My mother uses them. I'm wearing them now. No needles, non-invasive. These things do a lot of things. Detoxification, better sleep, improved skin, hair, and nail growth here.
Wow.
Go check them out. Repairing cells. That's what they do. The stuff's really good. Go to chasingmiracles.com and talk to Tommy and Donna. They got a bunch of other cool things on there that are all helpful. And I always say I got to get some freebies to Dave, because I know he'll maybe he could sell them to the guy in Patterson he goes to.
I might
and
I might actually go visit my new friends over at what the hell is the damn company's name? The Well Nest, I think it's called. They're down the hall from my studio now, and they're those IV therapy people that like replenish all your fluids. And after the weekend I just had, I think I'm going to need an oil change.
Well, I promise you, we are going to get full details of Key West and Dave Sturgeon.
On all the full details.
Not all the details, of course. You get in trouble. That's how it works.
I literally sent Jimmy. I sent that clip to the whole. We have a group chat of like 14 people, and I sent the clip where you're like, "No, asshole." You're like, and then Artie says like, "There's always one guy who ruins it, right?" And it was Dave, and he's running after her like, "Don't leave me. You're my everything."
That's great. That's such a funny scene.
It's a great scene.
Seymour Cassell blows this. We're talking about beer league here. There's a scene in beer league about
he's a fuck off. He blows the smoke in her face.
I'm sure your bachelor party was quite different than the beer league one.
Yes, that's very much.
I would like to give a little shout out to my friend Ken, my long-term mentor. Has got some health problems. I actually still trying to find out what's going on. I hope he's okay. I want to give a shout out to Father Paul's dad. Had some surgery, some heart issues. Hopefully he's looks like he's back on the mend. And also to I don't know if you guys, a woman in Ramsey was killed at the train station.
Was it today?
No, it happened on Sunday.
What county are you in?
Ramsey train station. Talk about bringing the show down for a second. I don't know what it is. I've been living here about 20 years, I guess. And for some reason, I think Ramsey train station is the number one train station in the world for deaths at the tracks, because the tracks don't go above like they do down by you. They're even with the ground.
So what, people just walking on the tracks?
Well, usually it's I think there's been since like 7 or 8 since I've been here. That's a lot. And usually what happens a couple of days later, you hear that it wasn't quite an accident. But I can't really testify to that. I'm only going by what I'm hearing through the grapevine. But it's just so sad. I'm hearing from some older people that remember even years ago before I got here. It just seems to be, I don't know, something about that train. Maybe it's because it's easy access, but they put fences up. You can't fence the whole thing. It's,
right.
I don't know. And it happened right near a farmer's market and everything. And I just, it's just sad. It's just, there's always a solution, man. When it comes to stuff like that, there's always a solution. That's all I can say. So no matter how dark and bad things get, there's always another play to call to win the game.
Sure.
So a shout out to that person. I don't know their name or anything else, any other details, but it's kind of sad right in my town here. Well, we'll switch it to positive news here at Shea Johnny Newman. Well, I had a bunch of auditions about 2 weeks ago, And usually when I have a bunch of auditions, that when I get like 5 at bats, it's a big 0 for 5 Giancarlo Stanton's, 5 Ks. But and if I do book one when I have a bunch, it's usually the worst one. But this time, Jimmy Palumbo with a line shot down the line for a double. I booked a TV show. It's a network show. I can't really give much details because I don't know. The show's been announced and everything. The good news is it's a pilot, but the pilot's already been picked up, so it's going to air in the fall, which is exciting. And I do play a character that is possibly recurring.
There we go.
There we go.
That's it. Everybody, come on, chime on in. This is great. Dude, no, seriously. All right, cut your applause.
That's a big one. The possibly, the word possibly is definitely possibly, but sometimes you get beat. But
what network? Do you know what network? You can't say that either.
I'm not going to say anything. I'll wait till a little bit later. But it's a regular one of the big three. I'll leave it at that. Cool. Which is cool and getting paid well. Good news is it's shooting unbelievably close to where I live, which is cool. So Wednesday, I got to go get my. I got to go down to my fitting in Kearney, New Jersey.
Hey, I was born in Kearney.
Yeah, so it looks
I was born in Belleville, lived in Kearney for a year.
There you go. Kearney's in the house. You know who else is from Kearney? That girl used to host on MTV. Daisy Fuentes, I think, is from Kearney, if I'm not mistaken.
That's where Ashley lives too.
And everybody's all the hotties are at Kearney's.
I didn't say that. I just said she was living there.
She's pretty good. She's old now. She must be like what? 22?
He's gonna pull Leonardo DiCaprio. Shit, you're done. You're out.
Listen, my boy Gooch, that joke is so old. She's a sweetheart though.
She's great.
So it's good. I don't have to go into New York for the booking at all. So it's like a perfect thing. I'm looking forward to it. I got some. It's just short scenes, but it really could be funny. So I'm looking forward to that. It's much needed. This acting, I kid around a lot about my acting career, but like it could get, I share with Dave sometimes and you can really bring you down. I mean, I always say this, you audition. The reason why I always think my career is going well is because I'm still playing, right? But there's another downside to it. When you're not playing, which means you're not getting any auditions, you feel like, okay, it's over. Like, what am I? The phone's just not ringing anymore, and that could happen someday. You never know. But then when the coach, you show up, you go to the clubhouse, you look on that little sheet, you see like Palumbo batting eighth, all right, and then you don't get any hits, and then you don't get any hits, and then you're 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 0 for 3. After a while, you start to go like, oh my God, I'm playing, but I don't, So you forget that like I swing hard every audition. You forget like, and all of a sudden you crank one out. And I'm definitely one of those guys who, even when I hit a home run, I run the bases a little too fast. Because like I don't know, but there's always a high
Pedro
wind.
Serrano style. He keeps his bat in his hand and shit. Just pulls around.
The wind can be blowing out of the northwest, and just held it in. What a way, So it's like I know, but these things are hard to book, and I laugh because the first thing I always say when I book a job like this, and this might sound, it's just in my head, I'm like, I'm still in the league. I'm still in the league. That means like a Tuesday night game, Knicks at Toronto. I checked in with 4 minutes ago. We'll turn around jumper down by 8, cut it to 6, go back, play some defense. Because they're so hard to book. If you look at, I did my taxes. If you look at all the auditions, including the voiceovers. Now, voiceovers are a different world. As a matter of fact, I got a big one to do right after this for a Netflix show, actually, which would be cool. Nice. But your batting average is so horrible. But some people that are my age, they only get like so many auditions a year. Like they get like 10 auditions a year. I'm blessed that I get way more than that. But when you don't, well, it's very difficult. Like I don't know if I might have mentioned it last week when you can book one job and it makes you, when you look at when you're doing your taxes and you're like, oh, that one job, that was a big grand slam there. It was a big shot. And then the next year you're like, wow, like I always do a football and I was like, oh my God, like every game we played Ohio State, we played Penn State, we played Georgia, all these big schools, Indiana, blah, blah, but I went 0-12.
Right.
And meanwhile, with 8 minutes to go, we are tied here at Indiana Palumbo.
So in sports references for people who are, trying to, put some numbers on it, when the beginning of the season starts in April, right, for baseball, and guys are 5 for their first 10, you're like, oh shit, he's batting 500. Like, this is insane. But towards the back end, right, when you have 80,000 at bats, it's very hard to climb that average at the end of it until you hit a streak. And so, if Jimmy's lifetime batting average, what do you have? Like 140 credits at this point, 150 credits, something to that effect?
130, I think.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, even if you get 130 out of 1,000 attempts, you're batting 130. So it's not looking good.
What? It's less than that. I'm telling you. Well, first of all, the voiceover thing, back in the day, people don't know this. Back in the day, I used to have to go into the city and I had to have audition for voiceover stuff. So I'd go into a room, there'd be mics, it would be all like the eggshell around, and there'd be a casting director who would be behind the glass. And they would be like, okay, Jimmy, and they'd give you like a good rundown of the character. There'd be the other person would be with you if it's a two people spot.
Mm-hmm.
And you got like, Jimmy, think of it, they would give you like a really good breakdown of what you're doing. And usually it was like 30-1, maybe 20-1. So you were in the game, just being there, you were in the game. Unless it was a big national thing, then it would be like more. But it depends on where, New York or LA, they were casting out of. So some of the LA opportunities I didn't get because I was in New York. When I lived in LA, I didn't have some of the New York opportunities, but I certainly had a lot in LA.
But now it's
MP3. So you can live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and you get New York and LA. They don't even do the New York and LA thing. Problem is, it might be 600-1 now. So go to Vegas and play blackjack, and you have a 600-1 chance of winning a hand. That's what the voiceover business is now, unless you become a little bit of a celebrity, which now celebrity voices are just about everything. That's why I got to get on. I got to get somehow become a regular on one of these shows, and then I'll be able to. I had an old agent one time who said, if you ever had any kind of name, I'd be able to get you voiceover work till the cows come home, because I got the raspy voice or whatever. But it's tough. These things are hard to book. You got to, and I've only in the last 5 years, 6 years, I used to not care about the auditions. I only cared about the bookings. But now I actually cherish when I get a big audition or it's a nice meaty role on a show that people know or it's coming on. I even celebrate that. I mean, I don't celebrate it, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Some casting director. Now for this one, I went into a casting director that I realized had booked me 7 times. And the producers, I was on 3 of their shows. They've been around, these producers. And I decided to go into the city. I don't know if I talked about this.
Yeah, you did.
And so I went in, and I'm glad I did now because I booked it. But I was a little rusty in the room, but I guess I wasn't rusty. It just felt rusty to me. Like, you got to go in the room. It's like usually
I'm in a while since you had to do it that way.
I'm in front of a wall. I feel like I'm at the NFL Combine now. I'm leaning in behind center at Kansas City in 10 degrees. But I guess I fired over the middle for a first down right there. But it's just good to get a booking. I'm thrilled to death. The money's good. My agent's got me a couple of bucks extra, which is, whatever. I'm just thrilled to death, happy for my agent, because these agencies have these young kids come in as interns. And listen, they probably have 100 clients, maybe more. I don't even know. And the rookies that are handling, and they do a lot of the work,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know who, you always want to hey, let me rip a double down the line so these kids can know, who's this jerk off? So they don't say that, but I think I would if I was, who's this guy? Banks hit that left field line. So I'm thrilled to death. It'll be on in the fall, I assume. And hopefully I will know, I think in about 2 months, whether there's some recurring. Usually you don't, the script's already done. You don't know what's going on. So I'm hoping that works out for me. And it's a character that is, I can get my leg up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? It's in my wheelhouse. So I'm thrilled to death about that. Of course, it shoots on St. Patty's Day, which is huge. Also, Beer League Last Licks news. We will definitely be shooting between April 15th and May 15th, somewhere in there. probably closer to the May. Me and Tom are running a little bit behind on our pre-production because he's finishing up another show, which will be done, I think, today. And we will be, the scripts are done. We're doing the final touches, doing some writer's room stuff, as they say. Got some kids looking at the scripts and trying to make them as funny as we can. And I really look forward to doing that. And I'm telling you, that 213, watch213.tv site is really, I don't know if you had a chance to buzz around on that thing, but it's even.
I just saw something that Sonkin posted on the socials.
It's and I'm not, listen, our show is going to be on this service. And I know it sounds like, it's probably, but I just talked to, if you're a young filmmaker or you're a young creator, really, of really anything with video, and you're more like not audio, not podcast per se. The things that this thing can do is really awesome. And it's also a community of people that are creative, and you could ask questions of people. So in other words, there's a setup in there in this thing where if you're 25 years old and you see a veteran director on there, you could ask him a question, like right to him, and he will answer you. But it's set up where you don't. It's not like it's Facebook or Instagram. It's set up
you can't
where,
spam people with all your
questions.
Or
you can't also the person answering the question can't just go, I don't know, kid. Like, it's not like that. It's like, hey, let me. Of course, advice is just advice, So it's a really cool site. It's got a lot of other things on there that I was not aware when he first created the site. So I'm looking forward to that, where this beer league thing's going to last. There is some other news about beer league that I would love to. Let me see if I just got to check an email if it's there.
It's quality.
Hang on.
Very good stuff.
Time out. Okay. I just got the okay. So, Natalie Vero, who plays, she's an actress. She's awesome. She's been involved with us since the very beginning. She plays Alphonse's girlfriend, my buddy Deej's girlfriend, the Italian guy on the show. She is, I can announce this, she is pregnant with twins, which is awesome.
What
a big congratulations.
First of all, Natalie, how dare you during this?
I texted her. I was like,
that is awesome.
I said, this is the most inappropriate active move ever. Trying to get more attention.
Right.
By the way, if Dave, if you can get pregnant, you totally would be pregnant right now for beer league.
Every fucking week.
Every
month, every year.
Is with quadruplets here, Shay.
Twins, though, bro?
Well, the funny thing is, Deej in real life, Alphonse, he has twins. So I don't usually like to reveal plot points. But if you think about it, she'll be close to 5 months pregnant, maybe more.
Are you gonna roll that into the story?
Well, I don't want to give away plot points, but
that's funny though.
I think it may look like Alphonse may
a little slippy do, whoopsie doozy. All right, I like it. I like that.
Listen, I'm thrilled for Natalie. She's such a sweet kid. Her husband's a good guy too. And I'm like, you know what? At first we were like, well, we can shoot her behind a table. They do all
dress her in black.
But I'm thinking, first of all, she's a skinny little thing, and she's gonna be 5 months pregnant with twins. She's gonna look like Boog Powell. How are we gonna? Can't change that. So then I said, wait, but then I had to ask her. I'm like, hey, is it okay? I had to check with her and Deej, because some actresses and actors get weird. They don't want to.
Well, what's her face from Entourage? The publicist. What's her name?
Debbie Mazar.
Debbie Mazar. She was pregnant in one of those seasons. That was fake. And so they just filmed her as I'm pregnant this season.
I did work with Debbie Mazar. And do you know what show I worked with Debbie Mazar, Dave?
Yeah, she was your wife and Friends.
Here we go. Which more people watch that than Super Bowl 1, 2, and 3. Yes, and it counts.
That's great.
But so yeah, we're thrilled.
That's cool.
Fun. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. First of all, did she announce this online yet?
Well, I checked with her. I said, am I allowed to go on? That's why I was
boy,
checking.
Oh boy, would that
was so wrong.
Can you imagine?
First of all, I asked her if we could maybe use it in the plot. I thought that was kind. That was correct. And then I said to her, you know what? What am I going to say?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to go on her socials real quick just to make sure she posted about it.
No, she just answered me right here. I'm honored that you want to talk about it. You
How
know,
was
you
she?
can definitely say my name and that I'm pregnant. So there you go.
All right. Well, according to her social media, she
Don't
has.
say anything. Don't say anything. But she said I could.
Okay.
Anyway, can't share that on. Don't put it on Instagram.
I won't.
But I
As
don't
of
know.
4 days ago,
Unless
she was
unless I read
skiing.
that email live wrong on the air. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go read this email. Maybe
Oh
she
man,
said
this is gonna be a bad look.
I can't. You know what? I will share this.
I guarantee the email says
Time
like,
out,
"Oh,
time
I'm
out,
so
time out.
honored that you want to talk about it, but
Time
please
out.
don't. I'm doing this
No.
massive stealth
No.
bombing flyover over this thing. We're not telling
Okay.
anybody."
I just sent you to your Yahoo the email she sent me. You tell me
All
if
right.
I'm all right.
All right, go ahead. Move on.
We're moving on here at Shea. But we're looking forward to doing that. Speaking of that, let's discuss the uniforms at the World Baseball Classic. Can we, Dave?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
it
why not?
looks like the Colonia Little Fellows League has better. Are you reading that? Your eyes just opened up. What are you doing over there?
Okay. Whew, damn. All right. So she goes, I'm honored that you talk about it. I haven't gone public just yet, as my manager and agents don't know, and a lot of close friends don't know. But when I do go public, you can definitely say my name and then I'm pregnant. Jimmy, she said, don't do it.
I misunderstood. All right. Well, we'll have to edit that out of the show.
Great. Where are we? 31 minutes in. Okay. So the live crowd's going to get it, but the later crowd will not.
Oh,
Damn. It's just reading, dude.
You know what? I was live on the air and you were giving me shit. Just don't post it on.
I'm not going to I got to maybe edit this shit. All right. I got you. Maybe don't mention my name. I'd request not to share the clip on Instagram. How does that sound? Holy shit.
I gotta take this. I'm a jerk. But it's, you know what? Listen, first of all,
what a fail.
Before you edit that, I'll get in touch with her before.
I usually edit it right after, so let me know.
Well, you know what? Maybe you know what? Here's what you got to do. Cut it. Can you cut that segment out? I'll send it to her. If she approves of it, then she approves of it.
Whatever. I think you've already.
So what do we got to do? We got to start. We got to do like a cutaway.
No, I don't got to do shit. I knew that. I knew the timestamp, so we're good to go on that. You know what, dude? You know what? Wedding call off over alleged infidelity issues.
Who's this?
Infidelity.
Oh, yeah,
you know, first of all,
I saw
fucking
that.
Tyson. First of all,
it was
infidelity.
Over it was over a prenup.
Well, no, it was denied. It was not about the prenup. Which, by the way, my man Dak, he knows.
First of all, let's start this segment all over. According to the New York Post, Dak Prescott and his wife, who they're having some marital issues. And
no, it's not his wife. It's not his wife. That's the thing. They called the wedding off.
Okay, so he called.
They have two kids, though, right? They have two kids. They have two kids. They don't. They're not. She's not pregnant.
Okay, and so the prenup thing is that's false too.
Mm-hmm. No, well, she's come out and denied that.
Okay.
So
Dak Prescott and his
the fact that there's people out there, and I said this online. I said the fact that there's people out there that are like commenting on some like NFL players like personal life. Like if you went out and like hit somebody with a car, then we could talk about it. You need to talk about somebody's wedding, bro. Like we're not fucking TMZ, not us. No. I'm saying anybody else.
No, first of
you
all,
guys are losers.
Okay, this is how you know when you're older than 45 and younger than 45. Because if the Giant quarterback if he was throwing 30-yard strikes to the sideline, I don't care who he's dating, what he's dating, male, female, I don't know, also over 18. I don't care what he's doing in life. I don't care what but the minute he starts to be like 1 for 9 here at the half, that I want to know.
Well, that's what I said to my brother when I read the story over the weekend. I was in Florida with my brother, and I told him, in private, we were in our own hotel room. I was like, Dan, you hear this shit? I was like, yeah, well, this is either gonna light a fire under his ass, like he's just like revenge season type shit, or we're gonna fucking stink.
Yeah,
he's gonna play horrible. So
anyway, so Dak Prescott's having some issues. Has Nutley Malone. He's he's
been through enough, dude. Like
he's a solid quarterback in the NFL I think he's been in the league for 35 years now.
Just 10. That's all right though.
10, and they haven't won a thing, but that's not his fault. World Baseball. You don't.
Jimmy Fox with the comment of the century. Truth. If he wins another Super Bowl, I don't care if he's a cheater on her with my wife.
That's funny. Johnny Box for 3.
That is great.
Um,
That's one of my favorite lines from Ari Gold in Entourage, where he's like, he's losing all his money at the poker table or the blackjack table. And he's like, you got to talk to your wife about it. He's like, I don't care if my wife's getting fucked right now. I got to win my money back.
Yes, I remember that line.
Oh, God.
That's
great.
Well, listen.
I may or may not have dropped that one over the weekend.
I'm concerned about Israel right now. Specifically their starting pitching.
Yeah, they stink, huh? They can't play baseball for shit.
First of all, Italy, Israel, like what? Is this a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. You're just realizing that, there's some superior countries that baseball people come from.
I know,
when you play Israel,
you're
going to rock them.
What?
You're going to drop bombs on
it reeks of soccer with the A, B, and C and D group before and the first top two.
It's called a round robin. That's
what
you do on all.
It's called awful. That's what it is. Man. I watched. You know what I did? You know exactly. I watched Judge. He's hitting home runs all the time. And
breaking scoreboards, bro. I'm talking.
Then I went right on that. I went right to airline disasters, but I did catch. There is a certain player, the Yankees' best player, still with them now, number 27.
He's not the best player. Go ahead.
Did you see the bomb he hit yesterday?
Off a guy who'll be bagging groceries in a week.
I don't care.
As Coach Lou Brown would say.
I don't care if it's off with Chris Gucci. That was a bomb, bro. It's Chris Gucci's show here.
Yeah, that's way too many. That's an over-under has been reached on the Gucci references.
Yes. I just can't get into this stupid thing. On other news, Rutgers fires their basketball coach. And the AD has the first hire. And they hired a guy from LSU, Gary Reedus. He's an assistant coach. You never know. But I didn't realize, listen, the Rutgers basketball has been good since I went to school there. And then the last, 6 years, they've been horrible. And I mean, horrible where hey, you got to make a change. I don't know this coach, I don't follow women's basketball that closely, but with her record, you got to give.
The women's coach got fired.
Women's coach, yeah, not the men's.
Oh, well, the men's coach needs to probably kick rocks
he's,
too.
He's got to make the NCAA tournament in the next 2 years. I'll be honest with you.
Shot.
First of all,
I watched Michigan State the other day at the pool bar, and I'm like, Rutgers, they don't sniff their level of basketball. It's insane how bad they are. Comparable, no doubt about it. But of course, they did not make the bottom 4, and they don't play tonight. They play Wednesday. In the Big Ten tournament?
You know what? I got to be honest with you. This is how, here's my prediction. Okay. First of all, we're all over the place. I got rattled by my. This is everywhere, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah. The fact, what I watched Rutgers play, and you watched them too, you went to a game. The fact that we didn't finish in the bottom 4, I think Pikel should get votes for Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. You watched them. Remember, you were like, Jimmy, they're not bad. I was like, no, Dave, just watch a few more minutes. Have your beer.
No, all I hear is Jimmy. It's time. Pull away now. Pull away now. 4 point lead. Let's pull away now.
They can't pull away from anything. No. And so the fact that they didn't finish in the bottom 4 is incredible. And the fact that they play Minnesota in the first game, which, listen, on paper, that's not that bad of a game for them. And then if they win, they play UCLA. And again, it's not that bad of a game for them. The both teams are better, for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, you know what'll happen? All the fans online, we can beat Minnesota. I bet we lose by 12 tomorrow.
Do you know the line? Anybody want to give me the opening line to that game?
I don't know what the line is. It's probably going to be I bet it's like 5, maybe. Because Rutgers always has a bad
Where's
line.
That game being played?
I think everything's in Chicago at the United Center. Big Ten plays there. They did one year. They did it at the Garden, but it got in the way of the Big East tournament. But yeah, you know what? Listen, there was a great interview with this new AD, and I even talked to my brother about this. This girl, man, she everybody does that coach speak. Well, we're doing different things. She was like, no, I talked to Greg Schiano, the football coach, and I just told him, and then she just went, it has to be better, which is that to me is and then they said about the basketball coach, well, do you think he should make any coaching changes? to like assistant coaches, and she went, "Oh no, I don't get involved in that at all. I don't get involved at that level. The head coach should know if he needs to make coaching changes or not." Which it was like that was his way of saying, "I'm not involved," but I kind of looked at him and said, "You will have
not involved, but do your fucking job."
Yeah,
How about
exactly
that?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we never get that out of Rutgers.
Right.
Basically, she said, it's got to be better. So my opinion, I think it's basketball team has to make the 20 in the next 2 years. And I think Shiano's he's got to win at least 8 in the next 2 years. He's got to have
in the next 2 years. Okay, good. I was going to say next year.
No, he's got to. I mean, otherwise, if they go like 6-6 2 years in a row, and the only thing is it's that buyout. He's got a really expensive buyout, but I think every year now
there's always a way to.
It goes down $1 million or $2 million every year. So I give him 2 more years. If we're still 6-6, he's gone.
I hate that conversation to be had about like coaches in any sport, really. Like I understand that Shiano has to be a leader of men. He has to call the plays. He has to there's certain things, but for me, it's really. I don't know why, but I lean in on like 90% execution. Like if your quarterback sucks, you can't coach him out of a paper bag. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
but
you got
but
that comes in recruiting. So you got to put the team together. I get that, but like you are not in any level.
Basketball and football are very different animals when it comes to recruiting because
football
because
you have
what it is to me. The best analogy is this: a football team at a college is like an aircraft carrier. It's big. There are people underneath. There are people on top. They gotta have. Whereas the basketball team is like kind of a little fighter jet. You just got to get 1 or 2 players. You get that jet up in the air, and you can cause damage. Of course, the next year you lose those 2, you head right back down. But no, Rutgers needs to be more successful at their sports. I think they're one of the most unsuccessful Power 5 teams in the last 40 years since I've been there.
If I'm not mistaken, we have 2 girls, I believe, qualifying for some kind of swimming something. We're just overdoing it in swimming.
Listen, the bottom line
I'm
is
reaching right now. I'm killing time until the new podcast that drops in maybe 2 months or so.
Well, listen, yes, and we got to start figuring.
I got all your emails. You emailed me over the weekend. I was looking at them cross-eyed, but like I got them all. So yeah.
So of course, though, I think the Rutgers coach basketball and football. You know what their biggest problem is, Dave? They got filthy carpets.
I knew it. Why did I see that coming?
Knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And of course, it's time to go to Oxy Magic USA, OXY, magicusa.com. Awesome carpet cleaners here at Shea. Things are dried in 3 to 4 hours. You get to look at me and Dave's face on the thing here. It's got the green seal and EPA safer choices here at Shea. They're great. The guy comes to your house. They got 80 locations.
What guy? What are you talking about?
I'm Brian from Moxie Magic, and I'm cleaning your filthy carpets.
Hey, perfect. Down my hallway, you see nothing, which is good. Except you didn't quite get the olive oil stain out of my carpet. First of all,
you can't potentially be doing a read for Oxy Magic and saying, he came, he couldn't get this one stain.
No. First of all. I redid my kitchen and I put an olive oil bottle. Now, can you think of, there's nothing worse than oil in anything cleaning, you screwed. A bottle of olive oil, which I thought was closed, it still had the spigot on it. It leaked underneath this bag over the course of 5 weeks. I took the bag up. I went, I tried for days. I was using paper towels to suck it up. I sucked up, if a cup of oil spilled on it, I sucked up so much. I just kept on doing it. Then I called him in. He looks at it. He was like, how long has that been there? I'm like, He goes, I will make it better, but olive oil on your carpet for 5 weeks.
I don't know why, but like the last 20 seconds of your rant, you can clip that up and make it so horrific. You're like, I was sucking it. Asking it, hey, was it good? I can make it better. It's like, God, that is fucking gold.
But no, he made it look much better. And with the lighting of the hallway, you really can't tell. Of course, I see it. But someday I'm going to replace the carpets. But yes, OxyMagicUSA.com. Go talk to Tom and Natalie. which she's got to come back. I got to play him in pickleball, probably kick my ass. But I don't know. I'm a little lighter on my feet here at Shea, playing at a higher level of pickleball. Very quietly. You know, it's so funny. I've been playing pickleball last like 4 or 5 days. And there's people that I know I'm better than that, but they don't think so. And so I get that little like, okay, first game, wild card game on the road. I was like, I'm gonna beat them. We blow them out. But then I run into a really good player, and that'll do it here from the Omni. Another good feel-good story here from this fine show, which we have to check with Natalie Vero. Absolute Eyewear St. Patty's Day party. Sunday, Dave couldn't be here. We're going to get to Dave shenanigans in a minute. It was a good time. I tell you what, Woodbridge, have you ever been to their St. Patty's Day parade?
I tend to avoid it, but yeah, no.
You know what? Next year, if you're around, you got to bring the kids.
Right? Yeah, no. That's all I see is that my buddies and their kids. So yeah, I just don't go because I don't.
You know what it is?
Like the people.
I tell you what it is. And I think everybody can appreciate this. It's like an old school St. Patty's Day parade. They have all the marching bands from all the schools.
What's the drinking situation when it comes to
well, there's a couple of bars.
No, I know there's the main tavern and then there's there's a couple bars, but like, can Janine send yeah.
It's a private party inside, but people step out. The cops kind of don't. There's not, but first of all, we're a bunch of old men sitting outside and old women drinking, but you keep it in the solo cups. They don't really, it's like a 2.5 hour parade. She does a great job. She has food out. She has customers there, as well as just kind of that Rutgers tailgate crowd.
I saw the picture.
A bunch of old friends that have been around. And it's really nice. You get to see people you see once a year, really, at this point. And it's great. She does a great job. But Hank Heidacher was there with his brothers. And my daughter brought her little new boyfriend there. And
I'm glad I didn't go then because I would have tortured this fucking kid.
Well, you would have been the Heidacher clan. Oh my God, they were relentless. I had to whisper to the kid, "Hey, they're good friends of mine. They're just but they went on and on." He was even laughing. Natalie got a kick out of it. So we had a lot of fun with that. And it was good to see John Maddie, my friend from Colonia. He's got a new granddaughter with another one on the way, which is
exciting. Man, we got to get all these people on the Patreon. What are we doing here?
I know. Listen, the Hogans, what's going on over there? We need some. I need some new peeps. But you know what? It was just one of those things, old school parade going by. The bagpipes went by. They had dancers going by. They had the guys were selling, had the green hats, and people lined up Main Street. And as soon as the parade's over, 45 minutes later, the street was open, the streets were clean. It's just a really cool thing. I didn't do it. I don't know. I guess it's been going on for a while. I didn't do it as a kid because we were in Colonia. I don't know why I didn't go.
Yeah, you guys, you Colonia folks weren't welcome.
Yeah, we weren't welcome, I guess. But it's really a good, it's just a good old-fashioned parade. And next year, you definitely should go. You'll get a kick. I wanted to shoot something, but we were running late. Natalie was being a teenager. So, but next year, we'll shoot something. We got to shoot something there anyway.
Yeah,
we'll do something funny. Maybe we'll do it for the Rutgers show. We'll shoot something outside of there. But it was a good time, especially just seeing friends. I saw some old Corona softball players there. They're still, some of them are still playing. Craig's still playing. Craig got mad at me because I'm on Zepbound. He called me a cheater, so he wants to do steroids now. He goes, "Well, if you cheat, I'm going to do steroids."
Hit me up.
I said. That's what I said. I said, call up Dave Sturcho. He's got a deal right there. I'll tell you.
First of all,
I'll tell you.
Doctor prescribed. Thank you very much.
Doctor prescribed. Pee in the cup day and say, "Ooh," and Sturcho was gonna.
He's gonna face him. He's gonna find himself with a 50-game suspension.
You know what? I think I'm gonna create a pee in the cup podcast situation.
Wow.
Where Sturcho will not be able to do podcasts for 3 weeks due to some kind of test, a urine test here at Shea. The other thing is, did anybody, or you were, we're going to talk about your trip in a split second, but the daylight savings, man, this one threw me off.
Fucked us up, dude.
Listen, I don't know if it's that hour ahead, you feel like you didn't sleep for 7 days.
Well, what's to stop us right now? We just skipped ahead, right? The 1 hour. Just leave it. Can we just leave it?
You know what?
Why do we have to do something?
Okay, time out. I read 3 articles on it. Okay, And to me, it's like, who shot Kennedy? I was like, I don't know what to do. Nobody.
Tell me the real reason behind it.
The one reason I heard
somebody said, "Oh, the crops" or some shit.
No,
like,
supposedly it's not that. I don't know. It's about extending. Well, I've read a couple of things. One of the things is like people get home from work at 5 o'clock. They want to have some daylight hours so you can run around with your kids in the backyard.
Right. So that seems like a positive.
The other
Why don't we
negative
just keep it around?
If you leave it like that, though, your kids will go to school in the morning, dude. Not just like dark, like midnight dark. Do you understand that? So your kids
My kids went to school today. The sun was up.
Okay. When you do it the whole year, though, your kids will go to school in the dark. They will get in their car at nighttime, put the lights on.
Like
no, because
by the way, what are we talking about here?
By the way,
I'm getting mad about
it. The sun is like Tom Brady. The sun doesn't. They just go to the sun goes to the Super Bowl every year. Okay,
but fine.
You move the hour, and that people going to work in the pitch dark, and kids at bus stops, and people go. But
and
right
much
now,
like anything else, we'll all get used to it. Why are we making this hard?
3 states that don't do it, but
bravo! I want to go there.
And supposedly it does save energy. I don't know, and it's daylight. It's not savings time; it's daylight saving time. Or there's no S, or there is an S, or something.
Oh
like
shit! What a riveting fucking podcast!
But you know what? Listen.
That damn savings time.
I figured the Tysons and the Hogans would know.
Harvest and saving energy, according to Will Pena.
So. All right. Well, listen. Listen.
I heard not nasty rumor. I heard a rumor that was all about like crops and growing certain things and like so you have to get more sunlight here. But I'm like, you're gonna get the same amount of sunlight. What the fuck are we talking about?
All I know is it gets whenever it switches over the next day.
A nickel, Tyson. How much we saved
I was
so
completely like the next day, I was like, even Monday, I was like, oh my God. And supposedly there's a real something to that. You're losing the hour, it throws you off. It did for me.
But it gives my dad ammo. Like for about a week and a half where I'm like, man, it's 4 o'clock. But it's really
I know. That's how you know you're aging in dog years when you start doing that. But anyway, so now speaking of alcohol and peeing in the cup. So, Mr. Dave Sergio, my behind the glass, who's not behind the glass, he's right here. I understand you did something this weekend. You went to at age 40, you went to a destination bachelor party in Key West.
Yeah.
Florida.
First and foremost, Key West is amazing.
How did that go?
Key West is just.
I've never been, and I always want to go. Did you land in Miami and drive?
No. I flew right to Key West because I know about the Miami thing where you have to drive that like 3-hour bridge or whatever, and he's like, it's one way. My brother's just like, he's like, all of a sudden, he's like, tractor trailer gets stuck on that bridge, you're fucked. Like he's that guy.
Okay.
So we didn't do that. We didn't take that chance. But my flight down was early Friday morning, which was horrific. Because I sat down. I choose the window seat typically, just because you kind of like that little lean space, and the only thing the downside to that is if you got to pee, we go, hey guys, you got to pee.
And you're a big fat bastard, and you disrupt the entire aisle.
The problem is, no, if I was the biggest guy on the flight, guess what? I was the second biggest. Guess what? The first biggest guy where he sat, right, fucking next to me, and he not only that, he made a joke about it. He's like, oh, look at us. We got to sit next to you. And I'm like, okay. And I heard him talking to his wife across the aisle with who I think had an empty seat next to her. I was like, don't you want to, hang out with your wife or whatever? He's like, we're good here. But not only did he take the middle seat, he did like the spread leg thing and like basically dominated. And like, what was I going to do at that point? And I was like, all right.
You look like a rookie point guard.
I was like this the whole time. I was like, hey, just doing that shit. But anyway, so
that's a good 3-hour flight, right? 3.5.
Yeah, a little over 3. Yeah. But it was fine. I watched I watched Casino on the way down. I'm a big Casino fan.
You didn't start drinking at the airport?
Oh no, I did. No, I did. No, I didn't start drinking at the airport until I was such a cheap ass on this one, and I'm sure if one of my friends hears it, he always calls me cheap for whatever reason. I'm not. But my buddy was sitting right behind me. And I didn't have any like card on file or anything like that, so I wasn't gonna make any purchases on the flight. But like, I heard them like the lady came out. "Do you want anything to drink?" I was like, "No, I'm good." You know, like, and then the next person, the next aisle, they're like, "Hey, do you want something to drink?" And I heard my buddy go, "Yeah, I got a Tito's and Sprite." And hey, buddy, what do you want? And it's like the guy with us next to him. He goes, "I'll get a Tito's and Sprite." And I look at him, I was like, "You got a card on file?" Because it's like, hey, make that 3, you know, like, but that's how we started it. But yeah, my best friend Greg, who I've known since freshman year of high school, is getting married in September at the Molly Pitcha down in great dude, great girl. But we had a fucking phenomenal time. There was so many really funny like highlights. I'll bring one up because I think it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard, because you only see this shit in movies. So my brother is a very outgoing person. He likes to talk to everybody. I'm the same way. You know, it doesn't matter. We had a great Friday afternoon. Everything was cool. Saturday night, we're about to go out, and there's 5 of us waiting for the Uber, and 2 ladies, maybe about your age, a little older than you, you know, just they're in the bag. They walk out the front door. "Hey, boys," and there's 5 of us or whatever. She's like, "We got room for 2 more if you want to get a ride downtown." And that's where we were going. And I'm like, "I'm not doing that. You know, that's stupid." And I was like, "Why would I want to go in somebody else's car?" Turns out she had like this decked out golf cart. Right. So my brother, being my brother, was like, "I'll go." And I'm like, "Wait, no, Dan, this is a documentary star. Don't do that." Him and my boy Kev, they both dip. And I'm like, "Oh, shit." So then I get in the Uber, we go downtown. But then I'm like, well, we're going to get there way faster than them, you know? Like, so I'm like, all right, well, let me know when they drop you off, blah, blah, blah. And they dropped them off in, let's just say, the wrong drag of the town, because they got dropped off. And my brother, who's a singing fella, loves to sing, right? Loves good music. He heard Cher from the outside. He heard Cher's "Do You Believe in Love" blasting in a bar. Do you believe? Right? He's like, yeah. He's like, "Oh, let's go in here. Let's dip in here real quick for a beer." So him and my boy Kevin go into the bar, and they're walking around. They go right to the bar. "Hey, can we get blah, blah, blah." And Danny's still singing. And Danny says every time he looks around as he's singing, the guys are like looking at him. And I'm like, "Oh no." He's telling me to start, like, so he's like,
somewhere over the rainbow.
He's kind of looking around. He's like, "What the fuck?" So then the bartender was like, I guess something along the lines of like, "First drinks on me, fellas." Right. And at that point, my brother was like, "Shit, we're in a gay bar." So, and then like on the TV, there's like a naked guy playing a fucking banjo or some shit. And then he looks around, he sees all the pride flags. I'm like, dude, how did you not know this walking in? And I think that was one of the highlights of the thing. It was hilarious. Yes, very gay population down there, which nobody bothers anybody. We're not like that. We're like, "Ew," you know, like it was funny as shit. One of the funniest. Yes, dude, Tyson, we literally replayed that, where I was like, "Maybe you could play for my team." He's like, "What the fuck team are you talking about?" You know what I mean? Like, so we reenacted that whole thing. It was great. But I will say, Jimmy, I think the highlight of the whole weekend.
Your photos area looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the area was great. It was just fun.
Did you fish at all? I heard fishing.
No. But the best thing we did was really, really cool. We, my buddy Kevin hit us up like the week before, because there wasn't much planning going into this, which was, I was like, dude, if we didn't go bar hopping, we could have stayed in Woodbridge. You know what I mean? Like, but let's get something planned or something. But nothing was really planned. So my buddy Kevin was like, "Yo, I found this thing. It's basically a tiki bar, a floating tiki bar boat that takes you to this sandbar 7 miles off the coast."
Oh,
and
wow.
then you can just
out there.
It's right. And then you can just hang out on the sandbar. The sandbar is now 3 feet of water. So now here we all are. It's not your typical sandbar where it's an island above the water.
Right.
It's literally just like, they know it's 3 feet of water in this one area. So that it took about an hour to get out there, to drive, to motor on out there. So you're drinking the whole way, complimentary drinks the whole way. We're all getting blasted. It's all good. Then they drop us off at this sandbar. They're like, "All right, you got an hour and a half. The pool's open." And I'm like, "Pool's open?" So then I look at the back. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was the clearest water I've ever seen. And I was like, and you can see the sand. Like, I'm like, "Oh, dude, this is great." I was like, so we were out there for an hour and a half, and it was the coolest thing, because you look around, you're like, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, this is absolutely awesome. And then when we got back on
was it hot? The sun must have been beating down.
No, man, it was like 80 degrees with like the breeze and being in the water. Everything was fine. The water was like, I think it was like 70 degrees. So like, it was just a really cool experience. But then after that, you come to realize, I'm like, wait a minute. He said he was going off to the right coast, left. We're in the Gulf. And I asked the captain, I said, hey, by any chance, are we in the Gulf of America? Right? He's like, yeah. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I told my boy, Kevin, who served in the military, I'm like, dude, we're in the Gulf of America. He's like, oh, really? And he's like, oh shit. Trying to take his phone down, start taking selfies and shit. I'm like, and I'm like, this is the coolest fucking cool in the world. It was honestly the best 4-hour excursion we went on. But yeah, there obviously a lot of stories I refuse to tell. It's just, us just being and listen, none of the boys did anything wrong. And I'm being serious. There was plenty of times and opportunities to do so, but we were just kind of looking around like, this is not the time nor the place. And I will say, Jimmy, we went to a rooftop bar the final night, and I'm sitting out there and I'm like, we go up to this room, the music's and I'm like, oh Christ, this is not my vibe. The music's too loud. Now I'm getting rolled. And we go out there and I'm like, looking around. And I'm like, I was like, it seems like an abundance of college kids, like an abundance.
Oh, spring break.
And I'm like, oh shit, spring break. So we find out that it's the University of South Carolina, pretty much the entire goddamn
the Gamecocks
school. The Gamecocks, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this is a bunch of South Carolina kids.
That's appropriate for Key West Gamecocks.
Right. So then I see, I'm looking around. I'm like, it was bad in two ways. One, all the guys had the haircut of Jackson Dart. Right. And I'm like, you dorks. But then I was looking around. I'm like, these girls they're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning.
They look 12.
They look like they're 13 years old. And I was like, I looked at a couple of the other girl dads and I'm like, I see my daughter and all of these girls. I can't be here anymore. There's no way I'm going to continue to drink. And I'm like, I just can't do it. Right before we left, though, we looked to the left. Bro, I think the starting offensive line showed up for the Gamecocks because these dudes I'm talking, we're built in Wisconsin. They're all the biggest. I was like, I am the smallest guy out of all 6 of these guys. So I was like, this is crazy. But I was just listening, man. Bachelor parties are different nowadays.
Now that you've been there, you're driving around a little bit. I have a friend of mine who elected to stay in Key West for that big hurricane 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed through it. He woke up in the morning, the house was on top of him, his neighbor, he now that you see that, everybody says, if you've ever been to Key West, you realize if there's a hurricane,
the vibes,
gotta get out of there.
But the vibes and everybody's just chill. We found this breakfast spot right before we went on that boat. It was called Schooners or Schooners or something like that, right down on the pier. Bro, it looked like, honestly, the overhead of that place might cost $6 a month. It looked like the biggest hole in the wall.
Is it pricey down there? I heard everything's expensive.
It depends. We went to that hole in the wall place, and you're eating egg and cheese sandwich for $3-4. You know what I mean? But if you go to the bar, and then now, mind you, I've tried my hardest this year into the new year to cut out beer. And try to do bourbon. I was like, well, I'm not doing bourbon down here. That's impossible, right? But of course, my brother flooded me with bourbon the one day, and I was just like, dude, this is not going to be good.
No,
I switched over to
bourbon's tough
for the first time ever because I'm always like, I need a taste. I need something with a taste.
All right.
But I declined that. I went with vodka club the whole weekend.
Healthy Dave Sturgis.
Yeah, but I was like, I was feeling nice, right? In that retrospect. But also hydrated. So I was like, this is a good balance here. I like this, But yeah, no, the prices weren't that crazy. Met a lot of really cool people down there. Just everybody's down to earth. They're all just laid back, relaxed, retired. There's people that are retired there, but yeah, it was just cool, man. The only downfall is it was expensive, to be there. We stayed at the fuck was it? The Capitana, which was the best part was when they booked that room, Jimmy. When they booked that room, they were like, "Hey, put in this discount code. We got a block." I said, "Oh, cool." And I put the discount code. I was like, "Oh, dude, it took $30 off a night. That's great. How much is it now? $600 a night." And I was like, "Oh God!" So I'll be paying that off over a little time. So we're fine. Had a great time.
That's listen. You're at the age now where bachelor parties are getting limited. Few and far between, and maybe this will be it. It could be your last one.
That was my last single friend, right? So I'm thinking I don't think I'm gonna meet anybody anytime soon where they're gonna include me in their bachelor party or whatever. So, it might have been the last hurrah, but if it was, great. But my brother left on Sunday. I left on Monday because he had to get back to work. So when he was leaving on Sunday afternoon, I kind of was like, This would have worked. If I would have left on Sunday afternoon, this would have been fine. But now you add another Sunday night into a Monday morning. I'm like,
it's never good to stay Sunday. I used to do that down the shore. We stay at Manasquan. We go to Leggett's late Sunday. Oh, what a great idea! You wake up Monday morning, you're like, oh, I should have left yesterday.
Oh, I'm also not a TripAdvisor guy or whatever, but like I will tell you right now, me being me, first time going down to Key West, I checked the bag because I figured I'm going to be down there for 4 days, and that's a lot of clothes and bathing suits and all those other shit. So I checked the bag. Don't check a bag if you're going to Key West. Why? Because they have 2 carousels at the Key West airport, and there's about I don't know 7, 8, 5, 9, 10 flights coming in at the same time. So you'll never get there. And oh, by the way,
you got to carry on. You got to carry on.
No shit. Now I will. But I'm saying,
you need shorts and a t-shirt.
I went. Yeah, I just packed too much.
I know you got a lot of thongs to pack.
Well,
that's it. So bachelor party weekend day here. Dave has a good time. What do we got here? We got a few minutes left, and we'll get off.
You'd be surprised. Hey, Tyson, you'd be surprised, bro. There's one of the guy's fathers was there. He's 70 years old. He was out there making better moves than all of us. That OG was out there. He drove 6 hours to be there. He made it worth it. Trust me.
You know what? I'll wait till Miles has a bachelor party. I'll be
there. You go. You, me, fucking my dad. We're all going to 8 miles, and Miles will be like, "No, dude, you guys are not coming." That's it.
If I'm at Miles' bachelor party, Miles is gonna be like, "Dad, Jimmy just shit himself over there. How are we gonna leave him there? Leave him in the water. He'll be all right." But of course, have you watched DTF St. Louis? Did you?
I watched the first episode. I was
second one's even cooler.
Captivated.
It's a good show.
I did text you. I was like 20 minutes in. I was like, what am I watching again?
I know, that's what I said.
But at the end of it, you're like, what? You know? It's like,
I love when a show does that. I started and I just started watching Rooster, the Steve Carell one that's on HBO. They just started on Sunday.
Pretty
also
good.
Another one.
Comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy, but along the lines like, where's this one go? I love when you're like, I have no idea where it's going. Of course, I'm hooked on the historical Netflix show Victoria, because the actress playing Queen Victoria, ruled England almost as long as Queen Elizabeth did. Matter of fact, Queen Elizabeth broke her record, but the actress is just so hot. It's like, hey, this is hot. But you know what show I can't buy into? The Taylor Sheridan Marshall's one, the new one.
No,
you don't watch all the Yellowstone stuff.
No,
it's too formulaic. It's almost like one of those NCIS FBI shows. It doesn't. I want to root for it. I was watching it, but I'm like, it doesn't have that depth that the Yellowstone and the other shows.
And sometimes, to me, all it takes is a good actor that you really like to hook on a show and just go with it, no matter what. Like Jason Bateman's like one of my guys, and I'm like,
well, you just want to watch him because you don't know where.
He's a fucking weirdo. This is such a I can't. I'm gonna watch the second episode tonight.
Yes, I enjoyed it last night. But of course, at the end of our show, I must just get to my Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey. 732-326-3937. Go talk to Craig and Janine. Their place is all cleaned up from their party. They got all kinds of, they're the best opticians you want to go. They're good people. When you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk off. Absolute Eyewear, a great place to go. Mention anything to do with the show, Sturcio, Key West, anything you mention Miles. Matter of fact, if you mention Miles or Stella, you get a higher discount.
There you go.
If you mention Natalie's boyfriend, you even get a higher discount here at Shea. But that's it. Odd show. I have to make some phone calls now to find out if I didn't spill the beans on that.
Oh shit! Yeah, please let me know right away because now
I will. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump on it right now. I will. That's it. Jimmy Palumbo Show next week. Show number 260.
260, where we're going to teach Jimmy how to read an email. Good night, everybody.
Good night.